Thank you so much to one of the hardest working members of Parliament here in Ottawa. I now like to call upon the stage the Honourable Deepak Obhrai. As noted, he's already, once he gets off his phone, as we noticed, he's the first new member of Parliament, and he's also the longest serving South Asian member of Parliament, representing Calgary, Forest Lawn, the Honourable Deepak.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, Chandra forgot to tell you that I am from Calgary, right? So, you would ask, what am I doing here today in Ottawa, considering that there is a Grey Cup final going on, and Calgary is one of the contestants, and I hope Calgary wins. The second, of course, is Ottawa, playing against Ottawa. So I am here in Ottawa to tell you I'm cheering for Calgary. It's a great honor for me to be here with my wife Nina. We flew in yesterday for the first National Heritage celebration on Parliament Hill, and I want to thank my good friend Chandra Arya for hosting the first one. And I hope from here there will be many more to come. Now, don't forget, I'm from the opposition, so my job is to get rid of him. But nevertheless, the tradition that we have lighted this year, I hope so will remain all the time here on Parliament Hill, that we will celebrate the National Diwali, the National Heritage Month here. Irrespective of the fact whether it is in November, as it is in Ontario, and as in October, as I have put forward for the whole country. Nevertheless, within this period of time, we will be celebrating this month for years to come now. And for all of that, it was a great, great support that you gave that has brought all of you guys here together. I mean, so sitting here, standing here, watching many of you who have attended both all the functions and today's function, nothing would have been possible without your input, your support. And as Chandra and his lovely wife has put forward this excellent work over here, as you can see on the table, let me congratulate him for doing this wonderful, wonderful thing, Chandra. So, you know, for a very long time, as it is said, I have been a member of Parliament for almost 23 years. So it was a very, very long time that I was the only Hindu member of Parliament. So sometimes I felt pretty lonely. But now this year I got Chandra, although he's in a different party. Nevertheless, the good news is that you have another member of Parliament who is a Hindu. We also have a third one. And so with that all saying this year, I'm no longer lonely anymore in Parliament, although we have a different philosophy and different political views. Nevertheless, your support has just been fantastic here. And the National Hindu Heritage Month, I was with the High Commissioner, Honorable His Excellency Mr. Vikas in Toronto early in the month when it was celebrated there in a big, big way. Right? It was celebrated by Mr. Dubey and the others. Important point to note, and for me, and I'll be very honest with you guys, I'm not a very religious man. My wife is the president of the Hindu Society, has been. She is a religious person, not me. You know. Nevertheless, Dr. Subramanian was the speaker. And many of you who don't know Dr. Subramanian, he's a member of Parliament from the Lok Sabha, a very distinguished member of Parliament. His sermon that he talked about over there in reference to Hinduism is something that brought a lot of knowledge to many, many of us. And I suggest to you that if you do have a chance, if you can go YouTube, I think it's on YouTube, right? If you can see his speech, I'm sure it will inspire a lot of you as to what events are taking place and what is happening. But it is critically important that we also recognize that, out here on this stage, in this building here, You know, Parliament is just going to be across from January, just across the hill. That is, as Mr. Bhargava knows, and everybody up here knows, the original place where Diwali started here. But here now that Chandra has made this thing here on this Parliament Hill, we will always be celebrating Hindu Heritage Month as well. So Chandra, you've done a great job. Thank you for inviting us. We wish you many, many years. Well, we'll put question mark. But many, many years for this thing to carry on. So thank you very, very much for inviting me and Nina here. And I want to say by thanking you, I'm rooting for Calgary. Thank you.
Always guaranteed to bring a unique perspective to events on the Hill. But just to say that Hindu teachings teach us that there is no difference between God and humans and the universe. So technically, there really shouldn't be any difference between the Stampeders and the Red Blacks, or the Liberals and the Conservatives. So it's just, we are all one. And I have to say that because I used to live in Calgary, so I'm deeply, deeply conflicted today. So I'd like to now invite to the stage again someone who is no stranger to all of us here in Ottawa, His Excellency Vikas Swarup, the High Commissioner of India to Canada, to give us a keynote.